Well, welcome back. This is basically the video for Gen 1 tips, tricks, kind of to help you get along if you are struggling on the challenge mode. This also kind of doubles as just a general guide to help with classic mode. And obviously that's going to start with a couple things. Firstly, here being the team cost, you can obviously not just take 8 legendaries. You are limited by a cost amount, and each Pokemon here has a cost associated with them. You can lower that or raise it depending on how many candies you have. And there's a couple of different ways to earn candies. The most common one is being just to play with your favorite Pokemon, get some candies, or you can also hatch them. Alternatively, you can hatch them or catch them in the wild. So that is one of the first things, understanding the starter cost. The next thing is understanding the luck dynamic. And just very quickly to go over that, where is that baby here? Items, frequently asked questions, forms, controls. Oh no, I will find it. But also, use the resources that you have available to you to maximize your run and make the best run possible. For me, I kind of have a lot of stuff memorized, but if you do not be afraid to use this wiki here. This is the site that you want to go to, and this is the site that you want to study if you really want to look at it like that. But I'll be right back with the luck and how it works. Alrighty, let's touch on luck very fast, and then I will touch over the forms. So luck here says catching or hatching shiny Pokemon rewards more candies than non-shiny Pokemon. So obviously shiny events are very fun. I believe we only had one in the game so far, but I'm sure there will be more coming up. Common shinies add 1 point to luck. Rare shinies, which are the blue ones, add 2 points to luck, and epic shinies, so the red ones, add 3 points to luck. The effects are capped at SSS rank, triple S rank, and when the total of luck points is at 14. So the regular commons are 1, blues are 2, and the reds are 3. Pretty simple math. But let's see what the percentage chances actually increase. For some reason, the audio just stopped. Either way, 1 point will get you out of D tier to C, and so on and so forth, all the way up to 14. And what these percentage chances mean is that the item, if you re-roll an item, it has a much better chance of being a better item. Or if it's a Pokeball, it has I think like a 14.3% chance if you're max luck, or a 7.14 if you're at a B+, to roll up to the next tier. Sometimes this happens from Pokeball and it goes all the way to Rogue tier. I don't know how it happens. It is just luck, but this is the best way. This is how luck affects your item upgrades, and you want to get that as high as possible. Effects of luck on wild encounters. Basically, the higher your luck, the better chance you have of encountering. Obviously, for the ultra rare spawns, which is something else you can check out on the PokeRogue Wiki. If you have the time, you can check that out. It's pretty negligible, but every once in a while, you do notice it. You'll beat a boss, you'll go right into another biome, and you'll get a brand new boss or like the highest tier every once in a while. Boss encounters. So this is how it works with boss encounters. It's not necessarily too negligible. It's actually a much better chance than this 0.21. And this is, take your time to read this if you would like to. I don't want to go over it too much. They did have one shiny event, which is the Pride 2024 event. But I want to dabble and touch on the forms because those can make or break your run. These are all the Gen 1 mons that have megas. In order to get a mega in PokeRogue, you basically have to get the mega bracelet first, have the Pokemon in your party and available to Mega Ball. Like, you cannot have an Ivysaur and then you can't get the Venusaurite with it. You have to have a Venusaur to get the Venusaurite, Charizard to get the Charizardite. And you get one or the other with this guy. It's kind of the unfortunate thing, but he has 2 megas, so I don't know if it's actually higher odds, but I like to think it is. Mega Charizard X, Blastoise gets one, Beedrill gets one, really good. And these pretty much just make all the Pokemon stronger and faster. That is the main thing that you are trying to do and build when you first start out your run. You just want guys that are going to be hard-hitting and faster than every single thing else on the team. But next, not just Mega Evolutions are in the game. There are also Gigantamax Forms, which started in Sword and Shield. And Gigantamax Forms are unique in PokeRogue because unlike the main games, each Gmax form has brand new base stat totals in PokeRogue. Basically, the way that it worked in the mainline games is that it only doubled your HP stat. But in this one, it changes all of them and you get new numbers. These are all the mons you can get Gigantamax Forms for, and just like the Mega Evolutions, you have to get the Dynamax Band first, and then get the Mega Mushroom to feed to this Pokemon. If you get the Mega Mushroom item, you will not be able to apply it to anybody but a Pokemon that gets the Mega Evolution. The Gigantamax form. I'm sorry, I'm Gigantamaxing. Alrighty, now I will quickly go over the way that I team build. Alrighty, so passives here are essentially an extra ability that you can get for your Mon. As you can see here, Bulbasaur has the regular ability in Overgrow, but the passive in Grassy Surge. So your Mon has 2 abilities, and it makes a lot of these Pokemon extremely broken. It makes them all usable. So this is pretty much the epitome of, like, if you have a favorite, you can use it here. And the way that you get the passives is essentially by using the candies. Once again, I believe the passive is 40 for everybody. Yeah, the passive is 40 candies for everybody except for the blue, or like the blue and up shinies, the eggs. There's basically a couple different tiers. As you can see, the Bulbasaur right over here, this is a common egg. And then I'll go down and you'll probably see a blue egg, one of the epic eggs, and then the legendary egg. So there's a couple different tiers, and obviously that will depend on what the passive is and how many candies it takes to unlock. These are extremely strong. They're not essential, but they kind of help give some Pokemon who are really weak an extra boost. So let's talk about Pidgey real quick, because I don't have his passive. But its passive is Gale Wings. The reason that I know what its passive is because I keep running into it in Endless, and it's extremely strong. But for Gen 1, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You kind of maybe want to pick some Mons that have really good passives, or maybe that are just really strong and have different forms. If you're just starting out, you're not going to have the passives. You're not going to have too much luck getting the forms, because if you're just starting out, you probably don't have too many shinies. But next, I want to go into team building, because the forms and the passives are pretty straightforward. They just make everybody better. Oh, let's go over the egg moves real quick. So, as I was talking about how the eggs have different tiers, when you hatch a Pokemon, you also have a pretty good chance, well, not a pretty good chance, I don't actually know what the percentage is, but of getting an egg move. Now, these egg moves are up here, or actually right here in this bottom lower right-hand corner. Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Earth Power, and Sappy Seed. Every single Pokemon has 4 moves. Now, these could be moves that it normally doesn't learn in the mainline games, and it could make some Pokemon extremely strong. So, I do not believe Charmander or any of them actually get Earth Power. I know they get Scorching Sands, but Earth Power is a little stronger. I believe 20 base power stronger. And it just makes some of these guys insanely strong. Mega Beedrill is one of the ones that comes to mind because its passive Tinted Lens means that any move that is resisted is no longer resisted. So you are hitting for neutral damage on everybody. And it just works really, really well with egg moves, 1,000 arrows, attack order, things like that. Moves that are normally resisted by a lot of types and that are not that good offensively become very, very, very usable with Tinted Lens. Okay, but the next thing I want to dive into is team cohesion, and the kind of best way and the way that I build my teams. Audio has been fixed, and we are back. Essentially, I want to keep it very short, because the most important thing is that if you're having trouble with runs, is just trying and trying and trying again, trying to get better and better and better every single time. Team building for me is you just want a team that synergizes really well. If you have a Mon that brings sun or rain or some sort of weather, you don't want to have anybody else on the team who kind of conflicts with that brings a different weather. It's also very good for water types if you do bring a Mon with like Drizzle, ones that have Swift Swim, and then just kind of work together. You also do not want like too much of one type, because I promise you, you bring 5 or 6 fire types, I guarantee you're going to be fighting Misty, and she's going to have a Drizzlemon, and all your fire types are going to fizzle out. You just basically want a team that synergizes well, that covers each other's weaknesses, and amplifies each other's strengths. You want a little bit of diversity in there. You don't want to, unless you're doing a monotype run where you're not really able to pick a different type. You want a team that works well together. Obviously, the starters are always really good to have, and they're probably the only option you have if you're just starting out the game. Pick Bulbasaur, pick Charizard. Like, you could just pick them from the first stage. Pick anybody you want and just kind of mess around with different guys, because everybody has a different passive, different abilities, different moveset. Just get used to it, get comfortable. And it's also important to learn what they do, because if you fight them, it's a lot harder if you don't know what they do. If you know what to expect, the battle is probably going to go a lot smoother. The next thing I want to quickly go over also is the trainer battles. So you have a rival fight at floor 8, floor 25, floor 55, 95, 145, and the big boss battle at 195. For your rival, the one thing I can say is just like write down, if you can't memorize it, just write down the starter that they have and the teams they have, because that'll help you kind of formulate a plan or know what mons they're bringing. So like, say for some reason she brings 6 mons that are all weak to ice. Well, you know what I'm going to lead off with? My ice type. And the other thing you also have to look out for is like the Mega Rayquaza. Spoiler alert. You have to worry about the Mega Rayquaza. It's very, very strong, but if you bring a fairy type, it kind of nullifies it. Or a guy that resists it, like maybe like a steel type, pretty good. One of the other things that also the evil teams, new update maybe like a month or so ago, a little while ago, anyways. They introduced evil teams. So on top of the rival and the gym leaders, you are also going to get evil team fights. Evil team fights, I believe, start at 34, 36, maybe 64 or 66, some of those numbers. And then you also get the evil team leader at 115 and 165. For any trainer battle, I highly emphasize and implore you to use X items. X items can make mons that are very bad, very good. It can also guarantee you to like KO them through their health gates. And that's kind of the essentials to team building. Get out there and have some fun. Just, throw everything at the wall, see what sticks, memorize the team battles, memorize Ivy's team so you know what to lead off with, and make sure your team synergizes very well. Pick all your favorites if you want. Obviously that can work, but just keep an eye on your rivals' Pokemon, what they bring out, and that's the best way to success.